How I escaped freelancing hell. Yes, I used to be one of these freelancer trapped in hell cycle, but I finally made it out of here. And today I'm financially independent. I made $2 million and I don't have to talk anymore with one of these terrible customers. So here is my story. So first, how I find myself trapped in the freelancing hell. So I used to be a freelance software developer. I was a self-taught developer. I didn't have any specific connection in the industry. And so when I started my career, I had to start with small clients. And they were easier to find, but they also had their disadvantages. And I find myself really trapped in this cycle that most freelancers know, where basically it's hard to get new clients. And when you do get a new client, the job is not super interesting. Sometimes clients are really annoying. They ask you to they bother you for some little details that you really don't care about. They don't pay great. Each job doesn't last a long time, and you just like keep repeating the loop over and over. Really, there is no hope inside, and you cannot have any project really because sometimes if you do make a bit of money, well, you never know when the next cycle is going to come. So you don't really dare to take some very long holiday. You cannot do long-term project, like let's say investing in real estate, like buying your home, and I mean, which bank is going to lend you money anyway with such an inconsistent income. So it's really depressing because you really see no end in sight. And so for me, I went through this phase, and at that time, I was lucky enough to see some inspiration. So there are some people around me that had some really good jobs. So I saw some real life example of people who work remotely with 6-figure jobs, and I felt both inspired but also a bit jealous because I didn't understand what did they have that I didn't have. Maybe they were better with their social skills, maybe a little bit more skilled, but how could it be this different? Like it really felt like we were in two different worlds. And so I started to think, okay, well, maybe that's a solution, okay? Because when you have one of these remote jobs, well, you have the independence of a freelancer, but at the same time, you have more stability. And so maybe that's the solution. So I started to have this objective in mind. I was really obsessed with this 6-figure remote job. And so I started to send hundreds of job applications to work as a remote software developer. And I just got just a few answers really. And I only got one interview, and I didn't even pass the first step. And I think it took me a few months to go through this cycle, and I had a couple of realizations. First, I realized that those jobs are brutally competitive. So when you have a quote-unquote normal job, there is a very specific geographical area where you can draw candidates from. Let's say 50 to 100 kilometers. You have this radius 50 to 100 kilometers from the job location, and that's it. You're not going to draw candidates from all over the place, from 2,000 kilometers away or something like this. So that actually really plays in your favor because it makes it so less competitive. And most people in the world, they don't realize it, but actually they are in this scenario. They don't face a worldwide competition. But in our case, when you apply to a remote job, you do face this worldwide competition, and it's really insane. So I realized that I needed really a better strategy. I think that getting a remote job was a good goal, but I needed to find another way to reach this goal. So I try to be very honest with myself, and I wonder, hey, is it a skill issue? Well, the problem is maybe, but we cannot even know that because they don't even give me the chance to prove my technical skill. I don't even get to the phase where I do a technical interview. So I get rejected even before that. I don't even get their attention, okay? So I think the main problem was more that I didn't know how to sell myself. And this is when I decided to challenge myself. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm someone not especially outgoing, so I need to have a big mouth, you know? I need to change just for the sake of the job, but I need to change something, because otherwise, if I just keep doing the same thing as before, it's just not going to work. So I went outside of my comfort zone and I created a YouTube channel to establish myself as an expert, okay? I wanted people to feel like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Okay, so basically I work on my communication. So I created my main YouTube channel. So this is not my main YouTube channel. My main YouTube channel is called Eat the Blogs. I have 170,000 subscribers. And I created this YouTube channel in 2017. And a couple of months after creating this YouTube channel, I already started to get some traction. Because on LinkedIn, I was bombarded by recruiters who asked me if I was looking for a job. And, you know, I didn't understand what's going on, because all my life, it was the first time in my life that I find myself in this situation where I got some traction. So I did 3 interviews and one worked. I received a job offer for a remote 6-figure remote job. It's so insane, because just 3 months before I was dreaming about this and it just seems so far away. And just because I improve my communication, the way people look at me is just completely different. So I find this weird, even unfair for other people who don't do this, but this is how I got this remote job, and it worked. So I was happy, I was successful, and during the job, so it lasted for 1 year, and it was magical because I had a great salary, the work was interesting, and I had this giant freedom, you know. So I actually live abroad. I was born in France, but I've been living in Asia for many years. And so basically my lifestyle is I go to work from coffee shop. Sometimes I travel to another country, but I never go to an office. I hate working from an office. And I could do all of these things thanks to this remote job. So it was good while it lasted, but unfortunately, it stopped at some point. After 1 year, the company almost went bankrupt. That was in the crypto space, and they mismanaged their money basically, and I was fired. To me, it was a shock, because at this point in my career, I've already tried so many things, and I thought, okay, wow, you waited more than I think I was more than 30 years old by that time. And I'm like, okay, finally you are successful. The years of strugglings are over. From now on, you're going to really enjoy your life and you're going to be taken care of, and that's it. No. That I had this sort of parenthesis in my life for 1 year, but it stopped. So I realized that remote jobs are basically just glorified contracting. Yes, this is the words I say are very accurate. Is because functionally you can be treated as an employee. Okay, everybody likes you, everybody respects you, no problem. But technically, you are a contractor, and in most of these remote companies, they have 2 kinds of contracts. Okay, if you want to be an employee, most likely you need to live in the same country of the company, possibly have the local citizenship, but they're not going to make you an employee if you apply from overseas. Usually this is going to be as a contractor. So being a contractor is less safe. I was fired from this company, but some people in the team kept their job because they were an employee. The next realization I had is that I cannot trust anybody but myself. And I know it sounds extreme, but after you've been everything I've been through, I think it's normal to feel this way. And I really reached a conclusion where I was like, okay, well, from now on, I need to find a way to not depend on anybody else. I need to have my own business because I'm the only person in the world that will not fire myself. Yeah. I mean, it sounds stupid to say it, but this is exactly what I thought. So basically, I was back to the freelancing market, but this time I decided that I quickly needed to have another source of income to complement my freelancer income. I wasn't sure that I could become 100% independent, but I thought, okay, well, maybe we could have this sort of intermediary goal of just having some extra income. So this is why I started to work on a digital product, so basically a video course. And in a couple of months, I finished this course and I sold it. So at that time, I wasn't very good with marketing. My YouTube channel was much smaller than now. Just as a reminder, my main YouTube channel is not this channel. I have another channel where I have 170,000 subscribers. But at that time, it was much smaller. I maybe only had, I think, maybe just 1,000 subscribers, something like this. So I sold my first video course. And so it was about the same topic as the YouTube channel. That was basically software development. And I think the first month I made something like $100. So clearly not enough, but I cannot tell you how good it was to the first sale I made. It was almost better than years after that when I was making much, much more money. It almost felt better than this, like when I was making 30, 40, 50K per month. This $100 felt even better because it was the first one. You know, it's like when it's very hot in summer and the first time you drink water, it feels so good. So because for the first time, I was able to make money with a product, but not with my service. So I could see this was the beginning of a new paradigm, really. So I kept working on this YouTube channel to increase the sale. And my main source of income was freelancing at that time. But I kept growing the sale of the course. And in 6 months, it reached $1,000, which is not enough, but it started to be not insignificant, let's say. After 1 year, I was at $2,500 per month. It was still not enough to rely on it full time, but it wasn't far. You know, it started to be in the zone where you're like, okay, well, we're really close. So at that time, I still had a freelancing client, and the YouTube channel was also useful for freelancing because I was able to get, so my flow of leads for freelancing was way better than before. The quality of these clients was also better. So things were going in the right direction. But once again, shit hit the fan. So I was fired by one of my clients. And I think for me, that was really the last straw on the camel back, because at that time, I've been trying freelancing for a very long time. I've been going through the cycle many, many times. And I decided, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm done with freelancing. I've tried it hard enough. So from now on, I have no choice. I committed to being successful with my with my education business. And I think this commitment is key, but it's also very rare to reach this stage. I think most people will not reach this stage. It's a commitment where you tell yourself, hey, this has to succeed, okay? Like, I don't care. It's not like, it would be nice that, I hope that. No. It has to. So you have to do whatever it takes. Of course, you have to respect the law, don't do anything illegal, but just to have this crazy commitment, like once you feel it, I would say you've probably already won. Like, you don't know it, but you won already once you reach that level of commitment. And that was my case. So I decided I would not try again to get new customer. And so I hired a marketing consultant to help me, because at that time, I wasn't very good at marketing. So this consultant cost me $3,000, which is really scary when you think about it, because at that time I just had this 2,500 per month. So that was really a lot of money. And so I remember the moment I sent this payment, $3,000, just after I sent the payment, really literally the day after that, COVID, so it was in 2020, COVID started, the whole world economy crashed. And of course, I was impacted, okay, because the people were reducing their purchase because they were afraid. So my revenue tanked overnight by 50%. I was like, once again, everything turns to shit. What the hell just happened? But remember, I was committed. I was committed to succeed. So I kept working hard. And basically with this marketing consultant, what we did was to relaunch the course. And thanks to the help of the marketing guy, I made $10,000 of sales in 1 month, which is absolutely insane. It was really the first time in my life that I was making so much money. $10,000, I mean, I could have never dreamed of it. So my bet paid off. I cannot tell you how happy I was. It was like just next level. But the most crazy part was that it was just the beginning of the story. You know, at that point, if everything failed after, I think I would have been happy already. I'm like, okay, I made 1 month with $10,000. I mean, it's crazy achievement. No. Everything was just getting started. And basically in the next few years, the business would just keep growing, and it reached levels that I never thought possible. My best months ever, I made $330,000 US. So basically, it's a freaking apartment. Can you realize this? Like a freaking apartment. Me who thought I would never become a landlord in all my life. And that was my best months. It was, yeah, oh, dude, you want an apartment? Yeah, here's your apartment for you. Crazy. So I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go in details for this part. Let's skip this for another video when the business really took off. But fast forward today, so my YouTube business generated $2 million. Out of this $2 million, I kept the majority because this kind of business, so this is what we call infoproduct, the margin are really high, which means the margin, this is basically the profit that you make. Other businesses are very different. For example, in e-commerce, if you make 2 million, well, maybe you only keep $400,000. But in my case, I kept the majority. I invested this money. The investment did well. And so today, basically, I'm financially independent. I don't need to work anymore. I have my passive income from this investment. Every month is enough to cover my lifestyle. So when you look at my story, the one decision that changed everything was to create an audience. From finding a remote job to finding more freelance clients to escaping freelance hell and to launching my own business, and to finally achieving financial freedom, the key element was to create my audience. So building your audience is a very powerful thing. Very few people are willing to do it, but this is a huge mistake. And people have really wrong ideas about creating your audience. You know, you don't really need to become the next TikTok star doing some stupid shit on TikTok. You can have a small audience and still be very successful. Actually, I was making 10 times more money when my audience only had about, I think the peak was around 10,000 subscribers or something like this. So you absolutely don't need millions of subscribers. And if you want some help to create your own audience, follow the link down below. And I hope, and I will get in touch with you, and hopefully I can make it happen. So thanks for following this video, and I will see you next time.